To fall apart. Choose fast, and it works fast, too.
Acid quencher. When you get acid indigestion, remember Rolaids consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. Take the excess stomach acid quencher, Rolaids, now also in spearmint.
Boy, Chester's just wacky about good humor ice whammies. Look at him licking his little heart out.
Good humor ice whammy stripes are nice, Grandpa. 2 natural fruit flavors on 1 stick.
I'm kind of partial to ice whammy swirls. 2 natural berry flavors on 1 licking good stick.
Aren't kids everywhere wacky about ice whammies, Grandpa?
You betcha, Sonny. Good humor stripes and swirls for boys and girls. Go get 'em, kids. They're really cool. Cool?
The $1.50 a pound.
Acid quencher. When you get acid indigestion, remember Rolaids consumes excess stomach acid quencher, Rolaids, now also in spearmint.
Built to fall apart. Choose fast, and it works fast, too.
Original soft drink ever in the whole wide world. Dr. Pepper.
Coupons in this Sunday's newspaper. Coupons good on Scope, Head and Shoulders, Gleam, and Sure. And look for this display at your store. It's 1 shower worth.
3 temperatures, 1 detergent. All temperature cheer, right?
Harold.
Yeah, my new pants, you like them?
Oh, of course, but what temperature do we?
Well, they're double knitted, so it says warm water.
You're a... Do the wash, Harold.
See, Ma? Got this stuff clean in all temperatures. These colored things got clean in cold. My new pants look great. And these, they're white again.
Everything looks nice again. You're a good son, Harold.
All temperature cheer. For the way you wash now. All temperature.
Or pineapple, and still give your family meat and save money. Wow, which is for under $1.
Well, there's this 4-ounce can of spray deodorant. Terrific protection.
With twice the lather.
New richer lather Safeguard. Because we think you could be fresher.
Specially designed for your wash that's mostly colors and color prints on white. Specially designed for your wash that's mostly colors and color prints on white.
Hands, which makes them feel better. Your lotion, or Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion. Feel it heal rough, dry hands.
Specially designed for your wash that's mostly colors and color prints on white. Specially designed for your wash that's mostly colors and color prints on white.
Driver, take this gentleman to the fanciest restaurant in town.
Something casual.
The Doubler. Arrow's looking smarter every day.
Yeah, they got food there.
I'm going to show you a product that lives up to its name. You see, you could use any big name hot water detergent. But in cold water, you want a detergent that's specially made to get things really of cold power. Because when it comes to getting things bright in cold water, no other big name detergent can measure up. Boy, for there is no power like cold power.
Making men look so good.
Clean skin and moisturizes too.
But don't cut down on flavor. Tab gets its taste from the Coca-Cola Company, and that's about as good as you can get.
Be good to yourself with Tab. It's the real thing.
Hey, Woody Walters, rock drummer. How's your love life? Maybe yours needs Ultra Bright. Dynamite taste and more whitener than any leading toothpaste. Ultra Bright, the one that puts sex appeal in a tube.
How's your love life?
Ultra Bright is available to help yours.
Windsong knows when a man waits for a woman, he remembers little things. He remembers a goodbye glance, a smile, a touch, and he remembers her perfume. Windsong perfume by Prince Machiavelli. He can't get you out of his mind.
That's Italian.
Then you'll feel better.
When even Simpson. New spaghetti sauce. That's Italian.
Sarah's looking smarter every day.
I got it. Root beer and ice. Barrelhead got us Barrelhead's real draft-style root beer with old-fashioned flavor that stands up to ice and a long-lasting head that'll tickle your mustache. So enjoy a delicious mug of the root beer with old-fashioned draft-style flavor. Barrelhead. And don't spare the ice.
One a day brand multiple vitamins plus iron will prevent iron deficient diets. It's the sure, inexpensive way to get that vital extra iron we need.
Now, how'd I know my Aero Signature collection would cause all this trouble?
With sportswear like this,
How could you resist?
the style in these shirts,
It's so good it hurts.
if there's someone to blame,
Joe Namath's the name.
you got to blame it on Joe.
You know me, always in trouble.
Blame it on Joe.
Listen, what can I say?
Sport shirt style to drive the girls wild. Blame it on Joe. Arrow's looking smarter every day. Arrow's looking smarter every day.
Through the years, we've all had fun. Now Baskin-Robbins turns 31. For 30 wonderful years.
Bits dressing. The first dressing to capture hickory smoke flavor and chunky bits. It's salad dressing. The real McCoy.
Boy. Thanks, Dad.
Coffee, tea, or grapefruit? Coffee, tea, or grapefruit?
Grapefruit?
A very special grapefruit. Florigold, Florida's finest.
But grapefruit.
Florigold is the in thing, bursting with juice. Great for weight.
River, home of delicious Florigold grapefruit.
Boy, you got a lot. Sure is hot.
Secret. Strong enough for a man.
But made for a woman.
Us Territon smokers would rather fight than...
Excuse me, but now us Tarleton smokers have even more to fight for. This much more.
New Tarleton 100s, the 100mm Tarleton with the charcoal tip, and even more of the taste worth fighting for.
Us Territon smokers would rather fight than switch.
Stay Puft Fabric Softener hates wrinkles because wrinkles cause extra ironing for you. New Stay Puft is the wrinkle-reducing fabric.
Whole world of food. Our famous pancakes, eggs.
Oh, thanks, pal.
Once you try it, you'll love the difference.
There's more flour in your cookies than anything else. So why not do what most...
Unspoken. For those moments that go beyond words. Unspoken. Only from Avon.
Treat your hands with new Decident Skin Care. First aid for dry skin.
Crystals. Looks noticeably rich. Tastes noticeably rich.
Tastes as rich as it looks.
Told you.
Want your coffee to get noticed? Serve Folgers Crystals. Tastes as rich as it looks.
Hi. You want a nice piece of chocolate? You love chocolate? Me too. Oh, it's Cadbury. Thick, rich. You never tasted Cadbury?
Chocolate, if you've never had a Cadbury.
People to know who you really are? Flair. Flair lets all the inner you come through. Flair writes heroic.
Gina, spaghetti sauce from a jar on my...
That's Italian.
Visible micro-thin shaving screen and 36 stainless steel blades for close, everyday shaving. And the super trim for sideburns, mustaches, beard.
Get off the thing here!
Daughter of Oz.
Now, Jonathan, that's why I did the wash before she gets here.
Oh, I see you're still using new blue cheer, eh?
Oh, Jonathan, it hasn't been new blue cheer for some time now. It's all temperature cheer.
Why'd they do that?
Clothes have changed, water, so the colors won't fade.
Oh.
And these, permanent press, warm water, and your gardening pants hot to get them clean.
Candies, plain
And peanut.
Cleans better, gets you out of the oven faster. Oven tests using U.S. government-recommended soil prove it. Even after 8 hours, the #2 brand still leaves soil. Easy Off cleans easier, better, wipes clean fast.
Easy Off did it. Cleans better and gets me out of the oven faster.
Get Easy Off. Cleans better, gets you out of the oven faster.
America, here comes a great new breakfast idea.
Breakfast squares.
The new shape of breakfast from General Mills.
Breakfast squares.
A complete breakfast, a light, ready-to-eat meal in 2 frosted squares with the nutrition of this bacon, egg, and toast breakfast.
Breakfast.
Shape of breakfast.
Go ahead.
Hi, girls. Finished playing pinochle?
Myrtle has something to tell you.
What?
Well, I use the same detergent as Opal.
You see, Clara, the whole world uses powders.
Mother, I use Era. It does more than most powders. Even cleans axle grease from Walter's work shirts, right?
Come on, Mert, my deal.
No, let's show Clara. We'll do a regular load and a shirt with our powder.
And I'll do one with Era.
Okay, a cup of powder against... Oh, is that all you use?
That's all. Just a 1/4 cup.
A little here.
And rub till it's worked in.
All this stuff.
Our powder lost. Era's the one that got the grease.
Sure, there's greasy dirt Era won't get out completely, but it almost always does better than powders. Liquid Era outpowers the powders.
And it costs no more to use. Right, Mother?
If it's so great, why isn't everybody trying it?
Just give them time, Opal.
Liquid Era. Why doesn't everyone try it?
Here comes First Aid for hard-to-heal, chapped, dry skin. New medicated Desitin skincare. The hand lotion that works because Desitin makes it.
The nicest way a grown-up can say Merry Christmas to a youngster comes in a Tyco box. With Tyco's Spirit of 76, handsome red, white, and blue from its locomotive with a real headlight to its flashy caboose. With Tyco's great over and under layout, Tyco, the nicest way to say Merry Christmas.
Too, Era?
Oh, sure, for oily stuff. But powder for regular dirt.
Right, good old powder.
Wrong. Era's great for everything you wash.
But liquid's expensive to use for everything.
Not Era. Costs no more to use than powders. And it cleans a regular load and more greasy dirt than any powder. Take a 1/4 cup, pour, and rub.
Boy, was I missing out. Era cleaned it all. The regular dirt?
Got the oil and the regular dirt. Still want your powder?
Not really.
Sure, there's oily dirt Era won't get out completely, but it almost always does better than powders. Liquid Era outpowers the powders.
That Era's really something.
What?
I said we better start cutting.
Gets rid of red, stays in eyes longer to be more soothing. Here's why. This is the leading eye drops. This, Clear Eyes with exclusive formula. After dropping, the leading drops run quicker. Clear Eyes stays longer, just as it stays in your eyes, is more soothing. Clear Eyes gets rid of red, stays in eyes longer to be more soothing. New from Urine.
Even Arlene. You know how you new flavors. Tasty seafood and delicious kidney.
Tender Victuals, the moist meal in a pouch, has 2 new flavors for your problem eater, seafood and kidney.
Do my eyes deceive me? Gentlemen, make room for the little lady.
Seafood and kidney, 2 new flavors from Tender Victuals.
Lovely moisture lipsticks.
Hello, fresh face.
That's me.
With a little help from Maybelline.
You're not going to wear that, are you?
But my hair.
I got your present. A totes rain scarf.
Ooh, so soft and silky.
Watch.
Scarf. $8.95 in gift package.
Our new Deluxe. The best Geno's Deluxe. It's our very best pizza.
Why, Texas gave us a 10-gallon hat. Cowboys, rodeos, and add to that, the most original soft drink ever.
Pardon me, sir, the most original soft drink ever, did you say?
Come on up here, stranger. Have a Dr. Pepper. It's not a cola, and it's not a root beer. It's something much, much more, J.
Eat well and gargle twice a day with Listerine antiseptic. Even if you do get a cold, maybe you won't feel as miserable. Bet you'll say it to your daughter, too, someday.
Listerine antiseptic, a part of mother.
Lozenges help you swallow.
For temporary relief of minor sore throat pain, Orison combines benzocaine and icy menthol in Vicks exclusive soothing formula to cool like no leading lozenge.
Throat feels cool.
Comes on. Doan's pain-relieving action often brings temporary relief and lets you get a good...
Good. All right,
Try Doan's pills for relief of nagging backache.
Nobody can see inside a great famous Indian river. It'll have a thin skin, be so sweet, perfect for diets, rich in natural vitamins and minerals. If it's not all this, your money back. What could be a better way to buy grapefruit? What can you lose?
Give it a nippy, zippy flavor. They make snappy tom.
Snappy tomato.
Looks noticeably rich. Tastes noticeably rich.
Tastes as rich as it looks.
Get your coffee noticed. Folgers Crystals. Tastes as rich as it looks.
1975 Volkswagen bus.
Leave all this room. Automatic, like a normal car. Gee, it parks easy. It goes that far on a gallon of gas? I love it! I'm glad I tried it.
Great. Next weekend, skydiving.
Relief with every swallow.
From Volkswagen, as swift and powerful as the wind it's named after. Scirocco, with front-wheel drive that handles like nothing you've ever driven before. It gets about 38 miles per gallon on the highway. Scirocco, the hot one, from Volkswagen.
Got your present.
A totes rain hat. Huh, nice.
And water rolls right off. Won't wet through. See? You look great.
I like it.
The Totes rain hat. Shape it yourself to get the look you like. Stuffs in a pocket. Keeps you dry and looking great on cold, rainy days. The Totes rain hat in Irish look fabrics. A great gift.
For me, too.
Legs sheer energy.
We asked Vicky Borset what she thinks of the taste.
It's terrible, brutal. I hate it.
She can dish it out, but she can't take
What
it.
do you mean I can't take it? I use it. I got a lot of respect for this stuff. I might hate the taste, but I love what it does. It kills germs.
Does what?
Kills germs. You know, germs that can cause bad breath.
Yeah.
Because after I hang up my skates, honey, I'm ready to let down my hair.
Listerine antiseptic. It's got the taste people hate twice a day.
With unique Porsche handling, and gets about 29 miles to the gallon, or 470 miles on one tank of gas. Who says an economy car has to be an economy car?
Sleeping aids. Only Sleepies is formulated solely to relieve the minor tension that can keep you awake. Sleepies come by to help you relax so you can get to sleep. Sleepies take only as directed. Sleepies, the one to take when minor tension keeps you awake.
Read why some advertisers are dropping out of...
Do you know the difference between the small cans and the chow-chow-chow cat food? Purina Cat Chow has as much nutrition for $50 less per year!
Chow.
That's Bufferin's time.
Lasts a good long time.
Nights.
Get your Beauty Rest by Simmons, America's great firm mattress.
Ford and Cheese Kisses instead of sweets and stuff. Individually wrapped protein and cheese kisses, a high-protein snack instead of sweets and stuff.
Oh, hi, girls. Did you bring your scissors?
You bet.
Gonna teach you girls to quill.
Show off.
There's great stuff here. Denim, seersucker, corduroy, but they're sort of...
Different than surface remedies to relieve nagging backache.
Introducing Borateam Plus, the bleach substitute. Because your laundry isn't like your great-grandmother's, you have more colors to keep alive and fabrics she never even heard of. Borateam Plus. Now you don't have to bleach if you don't want to.
Evandry, with new Borateam Plus, the bleach substitute. It gently whitens white things, eases out most stains, but never bleaches out your colors. New Borateam Plus, the bleach substitute.
That warn you not to use bleach. What's in? Borateam Plus, the bleach substitute. It comes on strong enough to... Borateam Plus, the bleach substitute. Because your laundry says so.
When it was...
Root beer and ice. Barrelhead got it going because Barrelhead's real draft-style root beer with old-fashioned flavor that stands up to ice and a long-lasting head that'll tickle your mustache. Have an icy mug of the root beer with old-fashioned draft-style flavor. Barrelhead. And don't spare the ice.
Aero designed this terrific collection of sportswear for me. But strange things have been happening. Like the other day, when my corduroy jacket went right out of sight. Just when I thought it, whatever, you sure gotta keep an eye on these shirts.
The Joe Namath Signature Collection by Aero. We're looking smarter every day.
America's lowest priced car is the economical AMC Gremlin.
Honest.
Remember these faces. As you look forward to dining with your family during the holidays, think of the Bay Area people less fortunate than you. For many, the only hot holiday meal they'll be invited to share will be here in the St. Anthony Dining Room. Please send your contribution to St. Anthony Dining Room, Post Office Box 777, San Francisco. Thank you, friend.
Right. Hi everybody, I'm Skip Elsheimer and welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where outside is actually brighter than inside. So if we can change that a little bit. So instead of going with a silent film, I just went with the commercial reel that I had set up because the planets aligned as far as getting it transferred, and I had to basically hold my finger to keep the sticky splices from popping the tension. So that's why we saw what we saw. Oh man, I didn't even turn this on. Hold on. We're not officially AV Geeks yet until this turns on. So anyways, we watch old 16mm films, and that one was weird. And I think we've seen this with the other commercial reels that I've gotten from this person, in that the commercials themselves are cut up. And so I don't know exactly what happened. But somebody spliced them together, and as you saw with the toilet paper commercial, sometimes spliced it upside down and backwards, which is always fun. So, anyways, there you go. There's the 70s for you. Let's see. We watch old 16, and here's something about Mail in Motion. Not Joe Namath, but letters and parcels. Enjoy.
You've written a letter and you've mailed it. First class or United States or any place in the world. How your letter gets where you want it to go in the shortest possible time is the job of the Postal Transportation Service, whose 30,000 men are the backbone of the postal system. They keep the mail in motion. This is Bob Smith. 6 months ago, he took a civil service examination for employment in the Postal Transportation Service and achieved a high grade. He also passed a rigid physical examination. This letter is an offer of employment as a substitute postal transportation clerk. Bob reports to the district transportation manager, who explains that the basic function of the Postal Transportation Service is to transport the United States mail, to keep the mail moving toward its destination. Bob accepts the appointment, takes an oath to defend and uphold the Constitution of the United States. He is given the equipment necessary to protect the mail, to identify himself as a Postal Transportation Service clerk. His training period begins. He is assigned to a PTS terminal where the primary breakdown in the process of distribution is performed. There are 71 terminals in the United States, most of them located at railroad stations. All of them a maze of belts, chutes, corridors, elevators, and moving trucks. Bob is now one of the 10,000 terminal postal transportation clerks who keep the mail in motion from the time it is loaded onto the belts until it leaves the terminal, properly dispatched via train and trucks. In this terminal, located in Washington, D.C., 10,000 sacks of mail are processed daily. This job requires hundreds of highly skilled distributors who work around the clock 365 days a year. But Bob has no knowledge of distribution and can only perform the more laborious work, pulling sacks from one truck to another, dumping up mail on a portable belt for distribution by experienced employees. It is a question of pull and lift and dump and dump. A tired substitute realizes that if he is to get away from this laborious work, he must learn something about the distribution and dispatch of mail. Like other postal transportation clerks, he spends countless hours studying the geographical locations, scheming out the correct routes for each of the 800 post offices in his examination assignment. Months later, Bob takes his first case examination. Postal transportation clerks must make a grade of at least 95 to pass. His equipment is inspected by the examiner: revolver, keys, scheme book, and schedules. Every week, clerks must revise and restudy the ever-changing supplies and schedules. Bob is naturally apprehensive, but he gives the signal and begins casing the cards. Off to a slow start, he gains speed and finishes at a rate of 32 cards a minute. The examiner checks the cards through the use of a code on the back. He finds 8 errors out of 800 and points out the correct supply for each office in error. Bob receives a mark of 99%. He will continue to take examinations and his confidence will grow. Within 3 years, he will have a working knowledge of approximately 5,000 post offices. Having acquired considerable knowledge of distribution, Bob is assigned to a terminal where bulk mails are handled. On this simple distribution rack, sacks are made up for states and other terminals. Although he is working alone, he is part of a vast system where the performance of each individual affects every other individual. A jam-up at any one point can cause serious problems throughout the entire organization. As the sacks are filled, they are labeled, tied out, and dispatched to the correct train for transportation to destination. sacks of parcel post are dumped up on a portable belt, where clerks working at high speed make the primary breakdown for the various racks in the section. Parcels of all sizes and shapes are thrown into tubs, which go to the racks for distribution. During an 8-hour day, Bob processes the equivalent of 160 sacks of parcel post. The tubs from the portable belt are brought to him along with the word of encouragement and advice. When the mail is kept in motion, this vast terminal is a smooth and efficient operation. But the flow of mail varies, and the distributors are continually fighting against time to keep the mail moving. When the volume becomes too great and overtaxes the facilities of the terminal, there are delays and increased costs. 12 billion pieces of third and fourth class mail are distributed and transported each year. A tremendous task requiring expert knowledge and close teamwork by postal transportation clerks. Airmail is another responsibility of the Bureau of Transportation. As preferred service, it costs more, but is well worth the money. An airmail letter from New York City is delivered in London, England, as quickly as a regular letter from New York reaches Chicago. Incoming airmail is delivered to the Postal Transportation Service by the airlines. Two important tools the Postal Transportation clerk uses are the twine cutter to open and tie out packages and the thumb stall to put the letters into pigeonholes. The jargon used in the Postal Transportation Service is peculiar. For example, Phil and North, number 1 and number 2, means mail in these pigeonholes will be dispatched to a railway post office running between Philadelphia and Norfolk. The number 1 package will be worked first because it includes cities near the beginning of the run. Bob receives on-the-job training under the guidance of regular clerks. After the airmail has been distributed into the cases, the packages are tied out and sent to the pouch table where they are thrown into pouches of destination. Life at an airmail field is never static. Flight patterns are constantly changing. Planes are grounded and mail must be rerouted to trains and trucks. The airmail clerk must know the proper distribution and dispatch for airmail flights and surface transportation as well. This complex system of routing requires specialized skill and flexibility, which is peculiar to the industry. Around the clock and against time, they work to distribute and dispatch as much mail as possible on each flight. 800,000 airmail flights serving 550 cities carry 1.5 billion pieces of airmail yearly. With America's great exodus to the suburbs, the highway post office has become a vital segment in the transportation of mail. HPOs not only transport mail, they also provide the facilities for distribution en route. Highway post offices are not restricted by the rigid schedules of railroads and airlines. Routes are set up to meet the individual requirements of the post offices served. The direct exchange of mails is both expeditious and economical, eliminating the need for mail messenger and star route service. The flexibility of the highway post office is the answer to the serious problem of providing good postal service during periods of shifting populations. At present, there are 184 HPO routes, which travel 15.5 million miles yearly. The American people are on the move, and the highway post office is moving with them. This is Bob's first trip in a railway post office. The crew reports to the RPO car to perform advance distribution before the train leaves. This RPO runs between Washington and Chicago. Pouches and sacks are strung along the car according to an official diagram to accommodate mail to be distributed and dispatched during the run. Each rack contains from 10 to 16 pouches or sacks. Each RPO car has a different layout because the scope of distribution varies for each run. Lettercase headers are inserted in the pigeonholes for the city and state mail, which will be distributed and dispatched. Most transportation clerks work throughout the night so that mail will reach post offices early in the morning to ensure first delivery by letter carriers. Outside the car, there seems to be confusion as trucks to be loaded with mail are maneuvered into position. But actually, everything is in order. A clerk calls out pouches in a jargon familiar only to the postal transportation clerks. Each run is scheduled to receive specific dispatches from post offices, airmail fields, highway post offices, and other railway post offices. A record is made of all pouches received and dispatched. The conductor gives the highball and the run begins. Nearly 18 billion pieces of first class and 6 billion pieces of second class mail are handled by the Postal Transportation Service yearly. As the momentum of the train picks up, letters are snapped into the pigeonholes with increased speed. The pouch table becomes the center of activity. There is esprit de corps in the PTS that is unique. Working in small groups or crews, clerks develop a keen sense of teamwork, while competition between crews results in high productivity. The speed of distribution now has reached its peak and will continue at this pace until the train nears the end of the run. Each clerk understudies one or more assignments and can step in and fill a vacancy at a moment's notice. Each of these veteran clerks knows the proper distribution and dispatch for approximately 5,000 post offices. Clerks work not only against time, but against the sway and bounce of the speeding RPO car. One of the advantages of railway post office service is that it permits receipt and dispatch of mail en route. Good postal service to the smaller cities and towns along the run is accomplished on the fly. These are the most exciting moments of the run, particularly for the new man. The mail for dispatch, enclosed in a special pouch, is brought to the door. The clerk designated to make the throw and catch is on the lookout for familiar landmarks as the train approaches the point where the mails are exchanged. He watches for the crane on which the incoming pouch is held. He throws the pouch, lifts the catcher arm, and makes the catch. The pouch is brought to the pouch table and distributed quickly so that patrons of the next station may receive same-day delivery. Bob Smith has now satisfactorily completed his probationary year. A letter from his district manager offers him an assignment as a regular clerk in a PTS terminal. He is ready to take his place among those who have dedicated their lives to the principle that the mail must go through. The men of the Postal Transportation Service, the men who keep the mail in motion.
There's some good work for you. Thanks for the callback on Duke Thomas, Mailman. The more I think about it, the more I really love that film. It's really phenomenal for me because Duke talks about his job and also complains about his job, which I love. All right, so what do we got coming up here? Let's Live and Let Live, courtesy of Stop Motion. Enjoy.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, once every 6 seconds, day and night, weekdays and holidays, another automobile accident adds to the toll of death, injury, and property damage. This tragedy and waste can become even more terrible unless we learn that accidents can be prevented and determine that they shall be. In general, accidents don't just happen. They are caused. Among the principal causes are carelessness, impatience, inattention, recklessness, and lack or loss of the basic driving skills. No one can become a really safe driver until he rids himself of these fundamental faults, until he stops taking an occasional chance, and until he comes to know his limitations as a driver. The good driver, for example, knows that no one can stop on a dime like this. No matter how serious the emergency, even an experienced driver takes a certain amount of time after he perceives danger before he can begin to apply the brakes. The distance which the car travels in this interval, which is 5/8 of a second for the average driver, is known as reaction distance and is indicated by the yellow strip. Since even locked wheels cannot arrest the car's forward motion immediately, braking distance, shown by the red strip, must be added to reaction distance to get your total stopping distance. At 25 miles per hour under ideal conditions and for an average driver, the reaction and braking distances are 22 feet and 28 feet respectively, which means that the car will travel a total of 50 feet before it can be brought to a complete stop. At twice this speed, or 50 miles per hour, the reaction distance for an average driver is 45 feet, and the braking distance is 119 feet. The total stopping distance, therefore, is 164 feet, over 3 times as great as at 25 miles per hour. Be a good driver. Learn your stopping distances and never drive so fast that you can't stop within the assured, clear distance ahead. All too many drivers ignore this simple rule, especially when in traffic. In fact, one of the greatest causes of automobile accidents is a habit of following the car in front of you too closely. Unless drivers leave a safe distance between their car and the car ahead, and unless they remain constantly alert, a crash is almost inevitable should the leading car stop suddenly. Driving in the proper lane is of importance too. It is an easy matter to maintain a smooth flow of traffic on multiple lane highways when slow cars keep to the right and faster cars to the left. But the impatient driver, who hopes to save a few seconds by weaving in and out, endangers both lives and property. As he darts from one lane to another, he leaves behind him a trail of snarled traffic and ruffled tempers, even if he doesn't cause a serious accident. Keep in line. A good driver will never attempt to pass another car when approaching a curve, hill, or intersection, or in the face of oncoming traffic. The driver who takes a chance by passing when he can see the road ahead, or when he doesn't have sufficient clear distance, is one of the greatest menaces to be found at the wheel today. Often he himself escapes unscathed, but is the real cause of accidents involving other drivers. Pass only when the road ahead is clear. Passing on the wrong side is another leading cause of accidents. Not only is it difficult for other drivers to see a car passing in this fashion, but the reckless driver has no warning should one of the other cars go out of line to stop or make a turn. You can do a good turn for yourself and other drivers by observing 2 simple rules. When you plan to make either a left or right-hand turn, give the correct hand signal and stay in the proper lane. From this position, the turn may be made easily and safely. Impatience and danger, however, go hand in hand, and the driver who will cut across the line of traffic, depending on his greater speed to keep him out of danger, may cause serious trouble. Remember, use hand signals and keep in the proper lane. There's plenty of room on this road for all, just as long as everyone stays on his side of the line. but the driver whose chief fault is carelessness can cause a serious accident. Not thinking of the consequences, such a driver allows his car to swing wide, forcing the oncoming car off the road. Always stay on your own side of the center line. But the most inexcusable of all accidents are those caused by drivers who are under the influence of alcohol. Anyone who drives a car in this condition is a potential killer. Alcohol, even in small amounts, affects a driver's judgment and dulls his senses. Normally cautious drivers will take all sorts of needless chances after drinking. Furthermore, they are unable to react as quickly or as well in emergencies. Remember then, if you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink. Stop, look, and listen. Those words are a warning that every driver should heed. Yet despite this warning, more than 2,000 men, women, and children will meet death this year in crashes between automobiles and trains. More than 1/3 of these fatal accidents will occur at crossings guarded by gates, bells, flasher lights, or other protective devices. When you come to a railroad crossing, stop and look both ways before going on. For the driver who feels he can ignore that warning and who won't take time to be careful, there can be only one end. There. So, stop, look, and listen. The busy intersections of American streets and highways are breeding places of accidents. Even those crossings where the flow of traffic is controlled by stoplights are not immune. Seemingly, it should be a simple matter to obey the law, to stop on red, to go only after the lights have changed to green. But many drivers, impatient because of a few seconds delay, will start off as soon as they see the caution light. At the least, this means confusion and traffic tie-ups. At the worst, it means serious and costly accidents. Play it safe. Don't start until you see the green light. At an intersection that is not protected by stop signs or lights, the right-of-way is given to the car on the right, unless the other vehicle reaches the intersection first by an appreciable distance. Failure to grant this right-of-way is one of the primary causes of accidents. But it should be remembered that possession of the right-of-way does not relieve a driver of the necessity of being careful. The driver who fights for his right-of-way or takes it for granted may well be described by the old jingle which tells of the chap who one fine day was killed maintaining his right-of-way. He was right, dead right as he sped along, but he's just as dead as though he'd been wrong. But the worst killer on the highways today, and the greatest single accident cause, is speed. Speed beckons temptingly to the impatient and to the thrill-seeking, and turns an innocent curve into a death trap. Speed, sinister and deadly, takes control of a car and hurls it into a wild, careening skid. Speed can make a simple blowout result in stark tragedy, and by increasing a car's stopping distance, speed causes many an accident that could have been avoided had the car been traveling at a reasonable rate. So stop saving seconds and losing lives. Slow down for safety. And remember, to be a good driver, a safe driver, you must use care, courtesy, and common sense. You must be ever alert, which means you must never, not even for a moment, relax your vigilance while at the wheel. Determine while you may to live and let live.
I mean, it's ultimately what you want to do with your model railroad sets is have all these or your model racetracks. You want all these accidents, and so thank you so much for providing that to us. It was made in 1947, too. So pretty awesome. All right, one last film today. Discovering the Library, 2nd edition. Enjoy.
Animals talk to each other? Does talking to plants make them grow better? Do white rabbits ever wear gloves? How do you get to the moon? Well, these children could find out by coming to visit me. That's right. Who am I? Can you guess? Well, I'll tell you. Here's my name, the Public Library. I'm your school library's cousin. I'm always happy when someone new discovers me. Jay, oh, he's an old friend, but he's brought 2 of his new friends to find out all about me, Barbara and Philip, and I'm delighted. This is Miss Samuels, the children's librarian. People always come to her when they need any help. Jay would like to know where he can find books on space travel. Well, Miss Samuels can tell him, with a little help from a very important part of me, my card catalog. People who use it know that books about traveling in space are listed under space flight. She'll find the book by its number. Oh, yes, Miss Samuels knows how I'm arranged very well. When you know a book's number, you can find where the book should be. And is there a book about space travel on my shelf that Jay will be interested in? Yes. While Jay looks through his book, Philip and Barbara can see what else I have that they might be interested in. I have so many books with stories and poems and pictures. I could make all sorts of suggestions about different kinds of subjects. Imaginary ones, and real ones. Books about places and people. And things that really happened. I have so many suggestions, in fact, that I could go on practically forever suggesting things to read about. All of us libraries are really wonderful that way. But Barbara's already found something she's interested in. It's a book about a hero of the American Revolution, Paul Revere. He made a famous ride at midnight to warn the Americans that the British were coming. The book tells how the lantern signals were sent to Paul Revere and just how he planned his heroic work. Oh, yes. I have many books to read about real people and real things that happened. You can learn a lot from me, but I can help you just have fun, too, because I have many books about things that aren't real at all, that are just good stories, like The Little Engine That Could. Have you ever read about that little engine that said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and it could? have stories about imaginary things and imaginary stories about real things and real people, like John Henry. Do you know that story about the man who worked on the railroad and the contest he had with a man using a machine? You don't have to take books out. You can read them here, in all sorts of cozy, nice places that I have. You see? You know what these children are reading about? All sorts of interesting things. One is reading a book about cowboys. Another is reading a book on sports. And the third book is about the circus. Oh, good. Philip and Barbara have discovered my magazine section. With Jay's help, magazines are filled with games and stories. Librarians keep the latest ones on display. They keep me up to date in magazines, and they also help keep me handsome. Posters do it, and so do the other displays that the librarians put up on my walls. Your school library probably has interesting displays, too. Sometimes my displays are in cases, like this one. We have dolls this month. They're cute little things. I know what they're waiting for now. I overheard Jay telling Philip and Barbara that I'm having a puppet show today. And Jay's right. Oh, I'm glad they're coming. My shows are fun.
Why, why does your dad like me? Okay, I am so here, my hair is not that bad, and I have long hair.
Records? Oh, yes, I have records. I have record players, too. If you want to listen here, you can use earphones, so you won't bother anyone, and listen to all kinds of music. And I have a film department. You can borrow films the same way you borrow books. I have lots of films.
What's going on? I was enjoying such a nice, peaceful nap.
You can go back to sleep, partner, on your back. Ha ha ha! The Durango Daredevil strikes again.
Help! Someone turn me over!
Carry me over the water, thou curtal friar. The friar took Robin on his back and stepped into the Nee. And coming to the middle stream, there he threw Robin in. And choose thee, fine fellow, whether thou wilt sink or swim.
We show movies here once a week. Slides? I have them, too. And a viewer to see them on. You can see pictures from all over the world. There are so many things going on here that sometimes I surprise myself. I really do. But my librarians know me very well. They can help anybody find just what that anybody wants. Jay knows that. Oh, I knew it would happen. Time to go. I do hope Barbara and Philip apply for library cards before they leave. It looks like they're going to. Oh, they've noticed my bulletin board. Good. It tells what's happening here and out in the community, too. I haven't met Philip and Barbara before because they're new in town. That's why they don't have library cards. Are they going to ask Ms. Roberts for applications? Oh, good. That's what they're doing. They'll have to take them home for their parents to sign, but it's not much trouble at all. Applications are easy to fill out. If you need a card, the librarian in your library will show you how to get one. I know. Having a card means you're the library's friend, like Jay is. Well, they're going now. Goodbye. I'll tell your school library that I met you, and the bookmobile, too. Hurry back. I'll miss you. They've made me so happy by discovering all the good things in me. Why don't you discover your library, if you haven't already? Make your library.
What, may I ask? Child, we haven't had school or books in ages.
No school? Really?
Why don't you get rid of that school book? You can drop them in here.
It'll get all burned up in there.
Well, of course it will, dear child. And so it should. Books tamper with man's basic, natural ignorance. Now, what could be worse than that?
But I can't burn this book. It's school property.
Nonsense! Apple sugar. You just need to get into the mood.
Books are not where it's at, teaching you how to spell cat. I know you'd rather play, so why don't you throw all your books away? Books are made for burning, the fire is already yearning to put an end to any learning.
1, 3, 5, 9, throw them in, the fire's fine.
Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire.
2, 4, 6, 8, time to incinerate.
Books will not make you wise, and reading's bad for your eyes. I am sure you agree, so why don't you give all your books to me? Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning to put an end to any learning.
This one here is very good about a man named Robin Hood.
Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire.
No, I never liked Tom Sawyer. I won't be a book destroyer.
Books can only confuse, teaching you things you can't use. You should listen to me. Burning your books will set your mind free.
Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning to put an end to any learning. Put the books in the fire, see the flames growing higher. Burning books is our heart's desire. Books are made for burning, fire is already yearning to
I'm getting ready tonight for introducing Beetlejuice at the National Science Museum, and I think it starts at 7 o'clock. There's a fee. I can't remember how much it is. I think it's $5. Downtown Raleigh. So join us for Beetlejuice, and I'll show a film from my collection as well. All right, so I'm just going to do this. So last night, Raleigh, we had a 15-year-old who killed 5 people on our greenway, and he killed an off-duty police officer, and he killed a mother. He killed just average people who were wanting to walk their dogs or take in a little bit of the nice weather, and it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. And 15-year-olds shouldn't be carrying guns. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. So everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and yeah, I'll see you Monday. Take care.